So really what we need to do is we need to increase that healthy vagal tone. We need to increase that social connection, that feeling of safety. As we talked about earlier, that stress response only happens when the body is noticing that it's under threat. So how do we build safety? So I just like to try a little exercise, if that's okay. I'd like you to think of a person or an animal right now that makes you feel more safe when you're around them. And I'm just looking at the photos or the videos and people are smiling. So I'd like you to think of a place that makes you feel safer when you're in that place. That could be anywhere. It could be outside in nature. It could be curled up on your couch with your blanket and your pillows just right. It could be with somebody in the forest or at the beach. But just think of that place. I'd like you to think of an activity that when you do it, you feel really safe. And again, this can be anything. It could be knitting. It could be walking. It could be sitting in a yoga pose. It could be cooking in your own kitchen. It could be anything where when you're there, you feel really comfortable. You feel surrounded by safety. And just ask yourself, what does safety feel like? What lets you know that you feel safe? You know, it's almost like we have imaginary hackles that are attached to our hair follicles. And, you know, in some ways I can sort of feel them just coming down, just settling when I'm with the right people, when I'm in the right location, when I'm doing the right things. And I just want to shout out to my friends in this photo. What you don't know is that just to the right of this photo, there is an unimaginable drop into a canyon. And I am afraid of heights, but I am sitting there with my girlfriends who take me to some amazing places, and I don't feel afraid because of who I'm with, right? So there's all kinds of people and places and activities and experiences that bring safety into our lives. And I think it's really important to experience that as much as possible. And when we can't experience it, to look at a photo of it and just have it recalled, to be able to experience that in our bodies again, to hold on to that feeling. For anyone here who is a helper for people with depression, so a therapist, a teacher, a friend, a family member, I just wanted to give you some ideas about being a really safe person. So I want you to think about when you're talking to somebody on the phone or you're talking to them in person, how do you know that they're safe with you? What is the message that you're sending with your body language, with the tone of your voice, with where you have them sit in a room, you know, or do they have their back to a busy window where there's lots of people passing by and they might be feeling a little jumpy every time somebody goes by? Do they, when they phone you for the first time and they're trying to find their way to meet with you, do you give them really good, clear instructions of how to find you? Or do they have to kind of fail on the way? And I say that because as a therapist, I work in a building with a bit of a pretzel, and I always have to give people really clear instructions about how to find me. Otherwise, I'm setting people up to feel unsafe en route to seeing me, which is not what I want. I think that because we all share this awareness of safety, you can assume a little bit. You can say, you know, what's safe for me, and you can try to recreate that for people. But I think if you're helping somebody else, it's really important to find out from them what makes safety for them, and you might be surprised. I've had people say to me what they need for safety is to have, you know, as much information as possible. They want to know ahead of time everything I'm going to do, and the outline for a session, and what I'm going to expect, and how often I want to see them. And they want all of that information up front. And then I have other people who say, I'm going to feel overwhelmed if we talk about more than just what's happening in this moment. And so in those situations, you want to be really responsive again, and listen well, and just do the thing that is going to make that person feel safe, or do the things.